Who does not love a good trilogy? There are classics that we all appreciate, like The Godfather, Batman, and of course, subscriber food hacks. As always, I asked you all on my Instagram to send in your best low-calorie recipes. I picked a few that I thought to be the most interesting. We're gonna try them out today, and I'm gonna let you guys know what I think. Most of the entries that were submitted today were of the sweet variety, others of the more salty surprises, but literally 90% of the recipes were cheesecakes. Like I could probably open up my own cheesecake factory as of right now. But with that said, we are making 2 recipes for breakfast. They are both sweet. We're making Kira's Pop-Tarts and Amy's super protein cookie dough. Pop-Tarts are a lot more of a welcoming reminder of my childhood as opposed to my Teletubby sleep paralysis demons. So the first step, we gotta take 4 slices of low-calorie bread and remove the crust. And then of course, when you remove the crust, you have to weigh the bread again because you're losing a lot of calories in grams from the crust. So 2 slices, 47 grams and only 90 calories. And we're gonna see, this is 90 calories pretty much. So we have our bread prepared, and unlike this morning, we had a choice of 2 fillings. So we have a strawberry and a chocolate. I went with strawberry, so here we have 17 grams of jam, 25 grams of yogurt, and then a little bit of protein powder. And then it says to add a little bit of water. I'm really getting some Greg Doucette donut vibes from this. Step number 3, we have 15 grams of egg whites, and we are gonna touch the edges of our bread to the egg whites because when things get warm, they tend to explode, and this will help us kind of keep everything intact when it goes into the air fryer. So all sides, give them a little spray, into the air fryer at 400 for 3 minutes. And now we make the frosting. We're making the anabolic frosting right now. So I've not had an anabolic frosting since my spotter at Goals helped me with more than just my bench press. So it's 15 grams of protein with a little bit of water. And then to make it all nice and purty, we're gonna add some sprinkles. Bring us back to our childhood a little bit. Part number 2 of breakfast, we are making the super cookie dough. I'm assuming the super part is that it's raw. And the first step is to get a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of Rice Krispies and crush them up, which seems to be a pretty novel idea. I've powderized many things in my life, never cereal. So 3/4 of a cup into a Ziploc bag and go to an unhappy place right now. Just think about somebody you hate. 33 grams of vanilla protein powder. There we go. 1 egg white. I don't know how I feel about this recipe, but I've always been intrigued to eat something that my friends warn me are toxic, but I think is worth the risk. So, I'm proud of myself with that crack. Now we need 1 tablespoon of real peanut butter. Is this birthday cookie dough? Like, where's the PB2 at? Got my coffee. Now let's have some breakfast, and let's start with Kira's Pop-Tarts. So they came out nice and crispy from the air fryer. Have a little bit more weight to them than the typical Pop-Tart. Let's go. You definitely need to adjust your expectations if you think you're gonna have a Pop-Tart. When my mouth wrapped around it, it was expecting like that pastry. It pretty much just tastes like a really, really like kiddish sandwich. The inside's good. It's not amazing. This just is kind of like, you know, you're being compromised in a way. Like, I don't know if I would go the lengths that I did to make this one again. It does give you that kind of essence of a sweet thing. So I'm gonna give it out of 10. I'm gonna go with a 6. Now, let's move on to the cookie dough. And I have a theory kind of forming, that is things that are not actually cookie dough cannot really be that good. Like an imitation cookie dough, I don't know. So right away, it's not really receiving my spoon like a cookie dough should. There's only 1 tablespoon of peanut butter in here. And my tongue always manages to find the nut. It does literally taste like a Rice Krispie square. This is something I wouldn't necessarily brag about to my friends, that I have like cookie dough every single day. It's like bragging like you got into high school, you know what I mean? Definitely not something that you wanna kind of show off. It's not bad. Would I make it again? No. Out of 10, 4.5. So accompanying my pre-workout, we are gonna have some candy grapes that was sent in by Trey Smith. So candy grapes are a very popular entry. And you know, I feel like this offers an interesting trade-off. It's gonna be nice and hard, but the grapes are not gonna have their explosive finish that I love. So here it is. So freezing the grapes, and then you toss it with the sugar-free Jell-O mix. So I never thought to think to powder my grapes. Usually it's the powder that comes first, so I'm brave enough to add a couple grapes in my mouth, but here we go, look at that. Look at that beauty. Oh, that is some fruity finish in my mouth. It adds another layer of fruitiness to it. And it actually kind of brings out the sweetness of the grapes. Oh my God. This is something great to have if the gummies hit too hard. You can't make it to your nearest 7-Eleven. Snack on these. That is very refreshing. Wow. Out of 10, that's a solid 8. That's a solid 8 out of 10. Great way to bring up the grape game. Workout complete, and I think it went pretty well. Hit another bench press PR, and I can't complain. Now, on this channel, we take pride in seeing how far we can manipulate things like cauliflower and tofu, and today it's gonna be cabbage, courtesy of Priscilla. So we're making some cabbage bread, changing this thing so far from its natural state that not even its own mother can recognize it, and it all starts in the food processor. 250 grams of cabbage right into the food processor, and now we're gonna rice this bad boy. You gotta wonder how somebody comes up with the process to make this thing. This is like Frosh Week level experimentation. So we have our paste kind of made, and now we're gonna pour it into some Tupperware and then flatten it out and then pop it into the microwave for 3 minutes before we air fry it. Not feeling too confident about this one, that is for sure. But if it turns out, this is probably the most creative recipe I think that has been on this channel. Wouldn't you say so, Kofi?
Yeah, I don't know about cabbage and bread being the same thing, but hey.
Annabelle food is, it's what you make it. That's literally it, it's what you make it. 3 minutes has elapsed, and let's see what we're working with here. Okay, I don't know if we're quite in bread territory just yet. I like the way it jiggles when I do that. But it does look very fragile, so we have to be careful. We have to take it out here, cut it in half, pop it into the air fryer, 375 degrees for 5 minutes each side. Now I don't know if we can air fry parchment paper. Kofi was just asking very concerningly, but we're gonna find out. So it came out a lot better than I expected, that's for sure. It looks a lot more sturdy. I was kind of worried at the beginning. So we are gonna make a sandwich right now, and I typically go with ham and cheese, but I find when bringing someone new in, having a threesome helps smooth the transition. So we're gonna add a little bit of tomatoes, and we're gonna build this bad boy. Okay. A little ham, a little jambon, 2 slices of tomato, a little Old Fort cheddar, hardly know her. And there we go. This is our cabbage bread ham and cheese sandwich. Very interesting, and I cannot wait to wrap my mouth around that. I will say I am pretty surprised at the result. It doesn't look all that pretty, but the things that we eat in the heat of the moment, right? So I am kind of nervous. I'm gonna pick it up and it's just gonna completely fall apart. Okay, we're good. Oh man, I'm excited. Why does it taste like this? I'm like very, very surprised right now. It's really good. There's a lot of flavor in that bread, man. I will say, as I'm eating this, it reminds me of like an anabolic Disneyland. Like this is something that you would get at a vendor. It's like the opposite of fair food. The steps that I took to make this is like the steps that people like at the fair take to kill you. You know, they add all this like sugar and carbs and stuff. The steps I took to actually eliminate carbs was insane, but I think it is very good. Has like a quiche-like kind of consistency. The outside's very crispy from the air fryer, but the inside, it gives you that egg component. It kind of tastes like there's an egg in the sandwich as well as bread. It's like, it tastes like a breakfast sandwich in my opinion. Very good. I don't know if I would make it again because the process was definitely a lot more in depth than just going to the store and buying some bread. But it's definitely one of those things that you want to make once in your life, for sure. So I'm gonna give this out of 10. I'm gonna go an 8.5 out of 10. This is pretty solid, better than expected. For dinner tonight, we are doing like a finger food theme because you can always trust your hand to deliver it the way that you like it. So the first one we are making are Philly cheesesteak egg rolls, and it's a popular East Coast appetizer. So it said really any meat's allowed in, just like me. So we have turkey instead of beef because it just saves on some calories. Have some wonton wrappers lined up. Oven is preheated at 425. And then on this side, do you think we can make it through this video without cauliflower? Of course not. So we have buffalo cauliflower tossed with some Frank's Red Hot, and then of course some of the vegan dandruff. Nutritional yeast, gonna pop it into the air fryer for a couple minutes at 400. And this is gonna be our little finger food dinner. This looks like quite the Super Bowl appetizer spread. So I'm gonna start off with these Philly cheesesteak turkey egg rolls. So he calls these egg rolls. I should start calling my donuts apples and get away with it. So I'm super excited. He said to dip it in ketchup or Greek yogurt. So I really wanna foster international relations and go with some Greek yogurt here. Oh yeah. The way that cheese, because you mix the cheese in with the meat when it's hot, it kind of like swims through and gets into all of the little nicks and crannies there. The spices are amazing. This would be something that's amazing to also meal prep too. If you want to like prep something for the week, you work 9 to 5. This was super simple to put together. You just pop into the oven for literally, I think it was like 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. This is really good. Wonton wrappers, I haven't really been buying too many wonton wrappers. I feel like cauliflower is a part of so many hacks. It should be the name of like a famous cyber terrorist, you know? This guy who hacks all this stuff, his name's Cauliflower. You never see his face. The nutritional yeast adds a really nice like savory and rich component, a nice cheesiness without being cheese for the vegans. This is a solid pairing of things to have while you watch whatever you want to watch, because I find finger foods to be a lot like liquid calories. You can just be sitting watching a movie, picking away at it, before you know it, you're 3,000 calories deep. Having stuff like this will kind of, you know, keep you kind of under control. So I want to give these little cups, like, these are a solid, to me, solid 9 out of 10. You could even jazz these up with even more veggies and stuff. The cauliflower wings, I think mine are better, not gonna lie. I'm gonna go for those, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. Both super solid options. The final round of the day is gonna be the dessert round, the battle of the cakes, which sounds like when me and James were the last two left at Pledge Week. But the first cake we are gonna have is a Mexican lemon cake that was sent in by Carolina. This cake is called Carlota. It's a very popular Mexican dessert. So it's a no-bake thing. It's kind of like cream and then layered with some vanilla cookies. So that's the first cake. And then in the oven right now, we have a Basque burnt cake by Ali. And it looks very, very good. Smells amazing too. Come here. Come here. Come on. So it has a jiggle to it that reminds me of me during my gaming days when I was chubby, covered in Doritos, Mountain Dew, and the Xbox controller was vibrating. So we're gonna let this Cool down. I'm gonna call my mom down and we're gonna see which cake reigns supreme. So we have 2 cakes here. We have the Mexican lemon cake. It's called Carlota, a very popular Mexican dessert. 450 calories. And then this one from Ali is called a Basque burnt cheesecake. 325 calories.
Looks good.
You like lemon and you
I
like
do.
burnt stuff.
Yeah,
So you're the perfect person to do this with.
absolutely.
Which one do you want to start with? The burnt one?
Yeah.
I was expecting you to be a little more jiggly after. It's from Europe, so the flavor is a bit jet lagged. It tastes like it tastes like cheese.
And scrambled eggs.
Yeah, but it doesn't taste like
But it's sweet. Tastes a bit like quiche in a way. It tastes good.
I can't stop eating
I don't know
it.
what it. I don't actually know what it tastes like.
It has a flavor I don't quite like, but then I keep going back, so I don't know what it is. Would you give it out of 10?
I'm gonna say like maybe a 6.
Oh wow, I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm sorry, Ali. I'm gonna give it a
Pretty harsh.
Oh, I gotta be honest. I can't deceive the audience.
Okay.
Like you. Next up, we got the Mexican cake. Now, me and you both know things from Mexico are highly addictive. So I made this the night before.
Oh.
So the cookies really did soak up. Carlota is tart. Thankfully not bitter though. That's like intrusively tart. It's like herpes.
No.
It's like herpes. Once you have it, it'll never leave you. Isn't it like a Girl Scout cookie?
It tastes very. The strongest taste is coconut. I think you could have added some more lemon, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Once you acclimatize.
No, I
To the
don't even
taste.
find it too tart. I actually like that. I could have some more lemon in there.
I'm gonna give that out of 10. I'm gonna give that an 8.
Really?
Yeah. Surprised me.
Wow.
Very much so surprised me.
I don't know. I think I. Maybe,
I don't know if I just like.
I give that a 6.5. I've had this little corner, and you scarfed that whole thing down. It's a lot of Carlota.
So that was episode 3 of low calorie food hacks. There were some kind of missed ones, and then there's some definitely hit ones, especially those Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. I highly recommend. Those were the highlight of the day. They were so simple, yet the idea was just amazing. If you guys want to see an episode 4, let me know in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this one, make sure to drop it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.